next is Roël. And I have to admit, I don't really know what the talk is about. Vault Encryption is the name, but it was on the party and I didn't understand it. So.
All right. Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm Roël. I'm with Violet 88. I started here early this year, and one of my first problems that I had to solve was integrating Vault with Silverstripe. Now, what is Vault? Vault is basically an encryption service that allows you to send data in and get encrypted data back without having you to write your own encryption schemes. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, I wrote that module. Currently, I have set up a demo. I'm going to jump right in. This is basically it, nothing special. But that is because the Vault server is currently unreachable. So I'll go ahead and enable it. Hold on. Now we got Vault. Oh, whoops. All right. Now I've enabled Vault. The transit engine is used to encrypt and decrypt data. And so when Vault is successfully set up, it has some environment variables. You get a Vault status tab, which shows the status of the Vault server. Now you're ready to decrypt and encrypt your data. Basically what it does, my database currently looks like this. I have made a custom data field that is basically a composite field. It has the data itself and then a blind index. Now what the data field looks like is this. You basically use it as any other field. The only thing that changes is you put encrypted in it, and then the type that you want it to be, and then any other parameters that you may use normally, just put it behind there and it works. So this iColor field is, I'll just put that away. This iColor field is basically, everything, hold on, let me just encrypt everything. All right. So basically what the data field does is it mimics any behavior that it should have, but then just makes sure everything is encrypted. I can still see the data here, I can still see the data in my grid field. You can still use it in code, nothing changes. The iColor is still an enum with all those values that you set up before. Just the thing that changes is everything has a log icon now. And in the database, this now looks like this. So basically nothing recognizable anymore. This one is a test that is not encrypted. Just the HTML text field. And the secret node is an encrypted HTML text field that is right here. So yeah, I did that by creating a custom data field, as I said. It takes the first parameter, which it tries to mimic with all the behaviors, and then it will just behave like any other field. But just if your database somehow ends up in public, no one will know what it means. There's some extra functionality built into the module. As you see before, you can encrypt and decrypt everything at once. Hold on, I'll try saving it. Here, to just show. Everything is still encrypted. All right, so I've made some tasks. The module does some key management too. So you've got your encrypt and decrypt tasks, and then there's a rotate encryption key task here. It does it, and then the vault key has the vault has a new key, and it's indicated by the version 2 here. Did I tell you what vault was? Oh, okay. Vault is basically an encryption. I did an encryption service. Yeah, I did. Okay. Well, yeah. Just Vault is made by HashiCorp. It's its own server. It's an application that you can just send data into. It's nothing really special, but I did want to show it. I think I've made something pretty neat. Now, the only thing is, if you do want to remove Vault, you have to decrypt your entire database first. or you will lose all your data. But yeah, pretty normal behavior. So I've decrypted everything, everything's back to normal, and then you can go back into your model admin. Everything, the logs are all red now, nothing's encrypted anymore. This doesn't show up anymore, but if you turn off fault, then it will show back up again. Okay. Other things that I do want to add is I've made a search functionality using the blind index, but that currently doesn't work as expected, which is a bit of a shame. But that's still a work in progress. So yeah, that's basically what I made. It's a bit short, but I do hope you enjoy it. Yeah, that was it.
Thank you very much, and I think it was very interesting. I just had the request of an encrypted database, and that's another solution for the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Do you have any questions? Aaron?
Oh God, here we go.
Yeah, a couple of quick questions. Can you specify which fields are encrypted, or is it all fields are encrypted?
So basically what you do in your code, you install the module. You don't really have to do anything. The only thing you do is you define your field as an encrypted data field.
I'm assuming it's key-based access to Vault, so if you lose your key in Silverstripe, your data's toast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what happens when you turn off Vault. Your data is pretty much lost. I currently run Vault in a dev environment.
Yeah.
That means everything is stored in memory, and as soon as you turn it off, everything just goes away. So if I turn off Vault now and everything's encrypted, then it's gone.
Okay.
It's
And
just gone.
from the front end, what's the payload addition? So if you've got a website that you're running that's pulling the data back out, it's obviously going to Vault to decrypt it.
Yeah.
Display it. So what's the additional payload?
Yeah, well, basically it's one single API call per field. It's been a while since I actually made that. Hold on.
So is it a per field or per request or per object?
It is, I believe, a per field in essence. So it does add some overhead indeed. The grid field was interesting though. Making the grid field was actually quite a challenge because the grid field doesn't use the data objects themselves. It has one big query. So I had to alter that and use the injector to change that. I don't know if I can do that for large queries for data objects. Maybe something for the future, but for now it's just on a per field basis indeed.
Can you explain the blind index thing a little bit more?
The blind index. Yeah, all right. So basically, in order to search through encrypted data, you can't do that. The blind index is basically like a hash. And so if you put in one input, you will always get the same result, which does mean that your data, you can only do exact matches. There's no less than or equals, or, well, there is an equals. No greater than, no less than. All the other comparisons are basically, they don't work at all. There's a blind index indeed that's generated. It's a hash, and then when you search for that specific hash, then it will come up. At least that's what it's supposed to do. I tried it this morning. It doesn't work, so that's still some work to do there. But yeah, that's what the blind index is for, and then the main data is encrypted using Vault, because you can't get data from a hash. It's a one-way, so that's basically what the blind index is for.
Lars? You want to see me run, right?
Yeah, just a simple question. Could you say something about the pros and cons between using an encrypted database versus this solution? Like,
well, you could use an encrypted database for sure. I don't know if you know that would be better or worse. Probably better, but no. The thing about this is not all fields get encrypted. You get to pick and choose which fields you want encrypted. So I guess that's the addition, and it's easier to implement. You basically just install a package and define, okay, I want this to be an encrypted whatever, and then it will just do it. You will need the vault server, but other than that, it won't. It doesn't really take any effort to implement it. So I guess the implementation is a bit smoother.
How do you handle the key two fault? Because there's one primary, or there's one master key.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
You unlock the fault and then you start communicating with the fault.
Yeah.
You need a key for that.
Yeah, so basically you do need to unlock vault indeed. That's what you do in setup, that's on your own. You just have to do that manually. The module can't do that. What you can do is in your environment, you add a token that allows the Silverstripe website to communicate with Vault, to log into it essentially, and then it will manage its own keys for the traffic engine, transit engine, sorry.
But if you lose that one, or it gets...
If you lose your token, you're done.
If somebody gets access to that one, because with encryption in the database, there's always where is the master key.
Yeah.
You can encrypt the master key, but then you remove the problem.
Yeah, no, so basically Vault, when you first set up Vault, it will ask you how many separate keys you want, and you will need an X amount of those keys combined to unlock it.
The parts of the communication of the application,
Yeah.
between the application and fault,
Mm-hmm.
there is a key involved.
There is, yeah.
Handle the key on the application side, because that's probably an unencrypted key that gives access to unlock the fault.
Yeah. So what would happen if that got released? Or?
If you lose the key, because you needed to add it into your environment, or
Okay. Yeah. So what I said before is the token is what you use to log in. That's what the website uses to log in. I can show you here. I do have a dev environment, so it's not as secure as it should be. This is the Vault token, and the Vault URL is defined here on, down below. The Vault token is what the site uses to log in initially, and then immediately. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, the application logs into Vault using the token, and then it will ask for its own keys. It will do key management on its own. It can re-roll the keys too, and it will just update the key that it has in memory. I can show that too. Basically, there's a Vault client, and it has some functionality to rewrap data, decrypt, encrypt, and it. Hold on, let me see if I can. Yeah, basically it does a Vault key instance, and that key can be a specific set of things. Then it will just, request its own key, create its own keys. Yeah, exactly. You can indeed have a token with a specific set of permissions. I did add that in the README, but yeah, you can lock it down as far as you possibly can want to.
Thank you very much, Roël.